Well, here we are.
Here we are.
What hits?
Nothing at all. I do have a question for y'all that I've been thinking about. I mean, part of me's been thinking about it my whole life, but I've definitely been thinking about it today. Do you think we'll ever get another Meatloaf? You know what I mean? Do you think that, like, with the trend of
I think
everyone
they perfected the recepe long enough ago that there's not.
Yeah.
There's nowhere else really to go. I've had Asian meatloafs.
No. I mean, hold on.
I know.
Oh, okay. Well,
you're talking about the.
You were doing a thing that I could easily see me.
Yeah.
I could see me doing that and being very dead serious.
Yeah, right. I know. Yeah.
No, I'm with you on that. I think we got about all the hidden meatloafs that we can have. I've had some different ones. Paula Deen actually changed the game up. I know I'm not supposed to say her name on this podcast, but, you know, she actually changed the game up a couple years ago because my mom, she made this meatloaf and it was fucking banging. And I was like, God damn, this is so good. What's different about it? She said, well, instead of breadcrumbs, I used oatmeal. And I was ready to be like, I have no mother. You know what I mean?
My mom
I was like, what's that, buddy?
I mean, Paula may have made that famous, but my mom's been doing that my whole life.
Yeah, Paula made it famous, is what I'm saying. Well, that hits, but again, like breaking with tradition on something like meatloaf. I was ready to be like, you're getting too hoity-toity, Mom, until she said it was a Paula Deen recipe, and I was like, oh, well, that hits. And turns out it is a superior way to make it.
Yeah.
Anyways, my point is,
go back to meatloaf because I already have a couple of dudes in mind that neither of which I think is going to hit for you. So go ahead.
Okay, that's fine.
I got a dude in mind who I thought.
Is your mic on?
Drew, I can barely hear you. I think you're either in the wrong mic or your microphone is off or turned down low or something don't hit because you sound.
I'm just a word we're not allowed to say anymore along with her name. I just didn't hold my mic.
Yeah, now you hit. My point is like, first off, Meatloaf came out at a time when, don't get me wrong, it was still like better to be really good looking in Hollywood.
Now I can't stop thinking about Trae's joke. Now I'm just like, Meatloaf came out of time, you know, when we needed it as a country.
During the Depression, we needed to be able to extend this meat and stretch it out. So we used breadcrumbs and oats.
Needed something more, a little less, you know, a little easier, lower barrier to entry, so fewer women get beaten after, you know, shifts over.
Exactly.
Because the dinner's burnt and fucked up. Something that any woman can handle, you know.
It's good the next day.
Meatloaf. Yeah. Pizza. Well, you can make a sandwich out of it, put it in your little lunch pail.
If it don't hit as much as you thought, just put more ketchup on it, you know, be okay.
How old is Meatloaf, you think? You think it's like, it might be like ancient almost.
It might be ancient, but it also could be like literally just came out in the Depression. I wouldn't be surprised at all. You remember we were talking on putting on airs, like there's some things that are oddly young food-wise that we just think have been around forever, but like that's not true.
Well, this is weird because, it said traditionally meatloaf is a traditional German, Czech, Scandinavian, and Belgian dish.
Sure.
American meatloaf has its origins in scrapple. You remember, was it last night or the night before I texted and asked y'all if you ate souse meat?
Yeah, souse.
Because
I didn't see that text. My grandma made it all the time.
The reason I asked y'all about souse meat was because Katie asked me if I knew what scrapple was. So this is a...
Now, scrapple, I'm not familiar.
Well, it's a Pennsylvania Dutch thing. They pretty much only have it in Pennsylvania, but it's kind of like souse meat, sort of, in that it's like the ground up butthole and wiener parts of
processed
pig,
butthole,
mixed with cornmeal and made into like a loaf that you could slice off and eat.
Yeah.
I've never had scrapple.
I'm for
but I know
that.
what it is. Yeah, no, I'm all for it because again, I like souse meat and I figure it can't be that much different. But anyway, apparently the American version of meatloaf dates back to colonial times. No, wait a minute. It says it was, scrapple has been here since colonial times. Contemporary American meatloaf did not appear in cookbooks until the late 19th century. So there you go.
Okay. Well, anyways, my point is that my point is,
I want to just keep taking this back to like,
I'm fine with it. Hey, buddy.
Dish meatloaf.
Meta meatloaf episode.
You never get into what you're trying to say.
It's all right.
I've made myself not talk about souse meat 4 times now. So let's just hurry and move on.
There was never a time when being very attractive didn't help in Hollywood or the music industry or whatever. But especially if you look at the 80s, Dude, country music was chock full of them in the 80s. Just people that looked haggard and rough as shit. Like Conway Twitty was a sexual icon. He looks like a mamaw getting a perm at the beauty shop, dog.
Yeah,
like,
but you've talked about that before. The part of that was that he was like singing to those mamaws and beauty shop women. Yeah, he was getting ants all wet, you know. And
I did an audio sketch about it called "Now That's What I Call Getting Your Grandma's Pussy Wet," which was it was Conway's Twitty's greatest hits album. Yeah. but Meatloaf, like Meatloaf did sort of the same thing. Like his songs, like the songs were very over the top, orchestrated, sexual, about the sexual experience. He, however, looked like an anthropomorphized bat with diabetes. But it was cool because he was insanely talented. And there was a time when talent was like, okay, man, look, if you just go, it don't matter what you look like. If you got a ton of talent, we're going to let you through. Now, I know that every now and then that still happens. But to me, it just seems like if Meatloaf had come at any other time in history, he wouldn't have been such a success. And he's so fucking good. And I'm curious, are we going to get to a point where we go, we don't give a fuck about the looks as much anymore. We just want the talent, because we are getting to a place where we are more body positive now. And you know what I mean? Everybody, instead of calling someone ugly, you just put them in a different genre where it's like, no, they're not ugly. They're just hot for busted face bitches.
I think you'll always have uggos and big old fat fucks that hit, you know, but through
that extreme though.
Through talent, but I think that it will always predominantly be made up of traditionally attractive people. I think, no matter
I know
what.
that.
So I don't think it's. Here's the people I was thinking of. He doesn't have anywhere near Meatloaf's sheer vocal talent. I know, but you know, our boy Jelly Roll is huge, and
Jelly Roll hits. It's a different thing.
Of the world. I mean, what's how different of a thing is it really?
It's different.
How?
It's different.
Yeah. Like, okay, but what's your question?
I know he doesn't. He doesn't musically.
Meatloaf was like a fucking sexual icon somehow. You know what I mean?
Hold on.
Okay, the other guy was gonna. Is that who I was thinking of? I can't see that.
Sam Smith.
Jelly Roll's hotter than.
Well, then who? Look, I love Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll's hotter than Meatloaf.
Way hotter, bro.
Way hotter.
What?
Way hotter.
Maybe you're thinking of like.
No, I'm thinking of Jelly Roll.
Movie.
That's
by the way,
look, dude,
the comp was Jelly Roll. Let's stop for a second think that Meatloaf and Jelly Roll, these are the two comps.
Yeah, they're both. That's funny. Yeah. That didn't even occur to me, but that is hilarious.
Funny.
Yeah, you know, they know the. See, I'm saying it's a good comp. You ain't having
it. Of course, Fatback Williams. We can't forget him.
Poke Chop Jenkins.
All right, I have so many. Like, what is the word they used to say it in college, Trae? Ontological or something like that? That's probably birds.
No,
ornithological is birds.
He's right about that.
I have issues with the question because, like, you're like, well, that's different.
It is different.
Well, okay, but how? Like, I don't know what you're asking me. Will we have another Meatloaf? Will there literally be a fat man named Meatloaf who sings about sex? No.
That sings opera stuff.
Okay, so it's got to be
because
opera
that's the thing.
stuff?
Jelly Roll is very much in a genre. Meatloaf is his own genre.
Question.
Okay, go ahead.
So it's got to be operatic.
It's got to be its own thing.
Because he was operatic.
Has to be its own thing, or newish, and he's got to be ugly. Is that it? Is that what you're asking us?
Yeah. Yep.
I feel like Jelly Roll's kind of his own thing a little bit.
Yeah, Jelly Roll is his own thing. Yeah, y'all are convincing me.
Plus, also, dude, I want to circle back in a minute, but the other person I had in mind, and I don't know much about him at all, so this may be a terrible comp. I just know that he's like, he got a real pretty voice. People think, and he hits for people. Is I almost called him Teddy Cheeks, which is not his
Teddy
name.
Cheeks.
Teddy Swims is his name, but I almost said
I don't know Teddy Swims. He sounds like he hits.
He's thick, but he's hot. I want to say so. I think was
Jelly Roll's hot.
I want to say so was Meatloaf in
bro. Go
85.
Please right now. Go look at the video for Paradise by the Dashboard Light. Meatloaf looks like a fucking gremlin, dog, and I love it. It's great. He's hideous, and I feel bad because I also understand why they let Earl play him in the biopic, and Earl's not a gremlin.
Dude,
you got to see. Yeah, but that's a stylized fucking photograph. You got to see him in the video moving around. This guy is not someone you would leave your children
That's
around.
What I wanted to circle back to is like, I'm with you on that just fine of your assessment of Meatloaf, but I'm saying again, no disrespect, because I do think he's an awesome dude and he really hits for me, but I do not just automatically agree that Jelly Roll physically hits harder than Meatloaf. I feel like they're.
No, he's cool.
When's the last time you really went and looked at how he's doing?
Every day. He looks great.
That's how he's doing?
Every day. He's doing great. He looks good. I mean? Dude, every day he's out there. He's slinging like... He's slinging...
I'm sorry. That's such Teddy Swims. Brutal... That's a brutal way to phrase that. If someone was talking about my appearance and they didn't say he's ugly or he's fat, and they said,
you seen how he's
doing? Don't think he's doing well.
You seen how he's doing?
I think he actually is doing a lot better lately.
He is. He's gone through the machine.
That's good. I'm glad for him. Meatloaf also slimmed down in his later years and stuff. Like
this is post Serial Malone, and I think he's kind of hot.
Saying, Drew said this dude was hot. You think this dude's hot? Look at him. He
looks
like a swamp man right here.
He's hot. Yeah, he's got good features.
Some better pictures out there. Listen, I want to say another. I said he was thick and like hot for a thick guy is what I meant.
Yeah,
I also
he's a BBW.
Want to say,
BBM.
Let me be that guy. I genuinely thought we were talking about musically because he did basically like it was almost show tune style.
Yeah, dude.
Y'all, dude,
I thought that was the.
You
question.
thought he was about to go into Meatloaf again,
no,
the food.
Hang on. I'm so stupid because this just got pointed out. And we all laughed about it or whatever, but then still, I was searching for stuff to show y'all, and without thinking anything about it at all, I typed in on Google Jelly Roll versus Meatloaf. And then all these crazy ass recipes popped up. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, oh right.
Dude,
those
the
are
celebrity death match we've all been waiting for.
So is any part of, I guess what I'm getting at is any part of this question about music other than there's not much like him? Because I thought you meant opera rock. Are we ever going to get opera rock?
Well, yeah, I don't know, man. He just is such a fucking, like, I can't even, Meatloaf is one of them dudes that it's hard to fucking describe. And I guess Jelly Roll kind of is too.
There's another thing that we got to get into this question, which is like how different the music industry is. There's a band called Foxy Shazam. The frontman's name's Eric. I can't remember his last name. He has written for and with Meatloaf. He has been compared to Meatloaf his whole career. He has this really bad. Now he looks like a skinny hipster, and kind of like a woman. But his music is that sort of giant opera rock.
Could he fatten up?
And he didn't make it by like Meatloaf stand. Like he was not as big as Meatloaf. He sold a few songs to the NFL. The NFL used to lead in with "We Are Unstoppable." But like my point is like, I'm also curious with this question, dude. TikTok is absolutely going to give us another Meatloaf. Will that person sell out arenas? No, I don't know, but a fat guy who can sing and has pizzazz singing about sex, TikTok's 100% going to give us one of those.
Okay, I'm glad.
I don't know if he'll be Meatloaf.
Yeah, you can't be Meatloaf anymore because, like you said, that part of the music industry is gone. There's too much choice now. Like back then, it was like that. Literally, the record companies told you like, here are the things you can listen to, and now there's just too much choice. So Meatloaf was one of those guys for a while, and he was so fucking unique. But yeah, no, I mean, hell, you're right. You know, TikTok will give it to us.
I feel bad about
not mentioning Paul Janeway.
No, I actually was just about to bring him up. Yeah. Seriously, I was. But in my head, I was like,
he's not a ghoul.
No, I know. He's not. Yeah. But also, no, I just feel bad about Jelly Roll because, you know, he does hit.
He does hit.
And yeah, and I looked
Paige is about to lose her mind.
I know if Paige is listening to this, I'm going to get some real pissed off text messages. But
he's hot,
this was the second time we brought JR down for no reason. This time it wasn't me.
Yeah.
I didn't even, you know.
Have you seen how he's doing?
Have you checked on how he's doing?
He's doing better. I shouldn't have said that. I retract that.
He's doing great. He's got hot face tattoos.
That Corey doesn't know that he needs to be worried. That's what you meant.
I still do think that him and Meatloaf are on a general aesthetic par with one another. But Jelly Roll he's got more.
He's got more. He's put together better. Like Meatloaf had stringy hair.
That's true.
That's also era now.
It is era. Meatloaf
looked like he was supposed to.
That's true. Meatloaf, dude, absolutely. That's something you can say about Meatloaf. He was exactly what he ought have been.
Imagine you show up to a meat. I guess if you were hot, though, it'd be like hunk of meat.
Yeah.
I was going to say it wouldn't make sense, but it kind of would, I guess. He'd have to be big. It could be a skinny guy.
There's you were talking about TikTok giving it to us. There's a pretty thick, short-haired, androgynous, like non-binary, genderqueer person that sings real good on Instagram. You ever seen they, them?
I'm sure.
I genuinely don't know if it's a man or a woman or
you got to
what.
Country? Is it the one who does Paramore?
Yes, it is.
The only reason I know it is I saw someone post a video of them singing, and then all of the funny comments.
The
comment some videos. Of them weren't like super offensive. They were just devastatingly funny.
Yeah,
those comment videos.
I wish I could remember some of those, but I don't.
I've gotten
but anyway,
to where I can tell now as soon as I start a video if it's going to be one of those comment video. I'm just like, this is so. Because as soon as I think run to the comments, they pop up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Here's what's happening to me though. Here's a complaint I want to file with the robots. I think it's because me and Andy keep sharing parenting videos, and we live here now. Mm-hmm. The algorithm thinks I'm a right winger sometimes. Mm-hmm. And so it's
that's because I send you racist stuff.
Sure. So, and I like it. And I send it. No, but it, like, I'll be watching, this happened the other day. I sent it to Andy. And I was like, look at this shit. It was a white dude and a black dude. The white dude was talking, and they were like, are you a Christian who wants to dance to the popular song, but you can't honor people being drunk at the bar? And it was that Shabuzi song about.
Oh, yeah. Everybody at the club getting pimping. A
bottle of whiskey. It's like a country remix.
He remixed
Somebody took the song Tipsy and made a shitty country song out of it.
And he's black.
And he's black, and Dolly Parton gave her thumb of approval on it, and that motherfucker has bought like 10 houses off that shit. They played it everywhere. So I'll say good for him. That aside,
we can talk about how much we hate that. That milquetoast, awful, just naked money grab for the middle of America was too edgy for this Christian couple. I mean, they're claiming they're not, but they're clearly boyfriends. I was waiting on the, what do they call it, remix?
Yeah, the remix for someone to pop up and be like, here's why this guy's an idiot.
I watched the whole video waiting on a Gen Z comic to like cut to their own face. And
that has happened to me.
Destroying these people, and it never happened.
Yeah, and you're like, why?
What have I told the algorithm to deserve this? And I think it's kid videos, move to Scott County, liking too many big titty white women.
Yep.
And I don't like Democrats anymore. I think they're like, well, this is your other option.
Right. See, like, I'm very aware that I'm a white woman. Like, we've covered that a million times, but I still am, and it's been since I became a dad, am getting way too many super, like, pizzazzless women just putting stuff in a crock pot. Like, used to, I would get that stuff, but at least the person would hit, and it would be like, oh, this is a cool thing. But now it's just a lady like, this is such an easy dinner. And I'm waiting for the chef reaction or whatever, and it never happens. I'm like, what do you hold on now. I do like cooking stuff, but I primarily watch cooking stuff that hits. Why are you sending me this stupid bitch?
And there's no way to tell the algorithm you hate it, because if you comment, I hate this, it doesn't know what you said. It's just going to keep sending it.
And if I send it to y'all and I'm like, look at this stupid shit, then it goes, he shared it. He loves it. More of that. You're right. The algorithm don't hit. But it does. but other than that, it's like, beside that one thing, it's really got me pegged.
So you talking about, you said Meatloaf, you had all these parameters you seemed to be making up as you went along, which was fine, but you were like, it's got to be opera stuff, right? Well, in terms of pure opera, his contemporary, one of the FDDH Kings, first ballot Hall of Famers, Luciano Pavarotti, used to keep chicken wings in his pocket.
And ate them between notes.
Yeah.
So
but I mean, I got to be with Corey on that one. That is too different.
Well, it's actually not real. I mean, meaning like, I feel like opera, they often
that dude is fat. A huge G. Yeah.
What I mean is, he didn't make it
the
in
fat lady sings. Opera rewards the fats,
They
do. But that's my point. Like, that doesn't.
If you consider that Meatloaf is operatic, that kind of makes it make sense that he's fat. But what I'm saying
to hit some of those notes, you got to have a fat throat. You know what I mean? Skinny bitches can't.
Right. In opera, they're so often they big.
Because that vibrato.
So it makes sense that the opera rock guy was a big dude. It actually checks out. When you
I thought you were saying here's another example, and I was like, I'm not giving you that as another example.
Yeah, no, it's the fat thing, and I truly do believe that there is, like, the fatter you are, like, dude, when Aretha Franklin, bro, when she put on weight, she went even harder. You know what I mean? Like, there's a certain, that goozle, you get your goozle, and you can start vibrating stuff off that goozle and stuff like that.
That's my favorite album of hers, actually.
Dude, Adele barely does anything anymore.
I was about to say, does Adele still hit? Or
she does, but she takes a lot of time off, and I think it's because she got skinny, and she's like, fuck, man. I mean, I feel better, but, like, I ain't got that goozle no more, so, like, it's harder.
Got your goozle.
Dude, you got to have a goddamn goozle. You know what I mean?
I don't. I thought I was going to say, are we just pretending to know what you're talking about?
If you want to hit certain notes, you got to have a goozle. I'm just saying.
No, I get that. What's the goozle? This
when your throat gets so fat that you can vibrate your voice in it more and it's cavernous. Like, I think that's how Pavarotti hit them notes. I think if he weighed 40, 50 pounds less, I don't think he could have hit some of those notes. I think it gives you a deeper sound. You know what I mean?
I googled, do fat people sing better? According to Google's AI, which is like
always trustworthy,
very stupid. There's no definitive answer, but there's also a Reddit thread on it.
Did it mention the goozle?
Being fat. This is just some dude on Reddit, by the way. It says being fat doesn't give you more space to breathe in more air, because an increase of body fat does not equal an increase in lung capacity. You can get that through exercise and vocal training, but that's it. If anything, excess fat pushes down on your internal organs, making you take shallower and faster breaths.
And if your fat is pushing on your organs, you will make sounds that no one else can make. Hey!
Right. I mean, it does make no sense, because I mean, it's
right.
Like,
air control, they don't have any.
Air control, they can't go up 5 steps and control their air.
But
if you can learn to do that, then you have these noises that other people have. That's my theory. It's like tall people, it's harder to be coordinated if you're tall.
That's true.
It's like rare that you're tall and coordinated. But if you're tall and you can become coordinated, you are better at basketball.
You're
than
unstoppable.
Short people.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is. I think some fats are the best singers, just like some talls are the best basketball players. But if you get a goofy tall, a normal tall, they can't even catch the basketball.
Yeah, it's the same with golf. Like, it's exponentially harder the more inches you have, because you're further away from the ball, and therefore it's harder to connect. Whereas if you're more compact, but if you get a tall dude who actually can figure it out and get it online, he bombs that shit because his arc is just so much bigger than everybody's.
We're figuring out the tough questions and issues of the day today, boys.
Yeah, I mean, that's all I had, by the way. I had a note here, can America have another Meatloaf? And that's all. And I had to write it down so I wouldn't forget.
Corey asked the waitress if he could have another Meatloaf, and then he was like, I wonder if America can too.
America needs another Meatloaf, not just me.
Man, can I have another Meatloaf? My next article for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution.
Yes, that's right. That's not bad.
It's time you know what's funny is Meatloaf.
Actually the last one that I just wrote is about going to the meat and three, and how the robots are going to take them from us and how we're going to save them.
I'm so glad you said that, because what I thought you were going to say is, and how we need to all do that together. And I was like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Fuck no. No, hell no, dude.
But robots, that hits.
No, it's just about how the robots were going to take Mama's job. Fuck hanging out.
Dude.
I actually made several cases in there for not wanting to hang out with any of them people, but that they sort of make the place fun.
They do. That's true. Hardee's and Diners is where they
You thought it was if the world had a front porch like we did.
I was afraid it was. No, I didn't think it was. The disappointment was in my expectation.
They don't pay me enough yet, bro. They don't. You'll know.
Listen, dude. Me and DJ been on this for a while. Hardee's, and I'll throw a diner in there too. That is where papaism should reside.
Yeah.
Like,
keep them there.
Being on the internet is the problem.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about tinfoil hats and which minority group is making your life hard, even though you've never met one, do it at Hardee's.
Yep.
That's fine.
Come on.
They do love Hardee's. This ain't. If I feel like I've mostly only ever seen solo papaws doing this, as opposed to, you see groups at Hardee's and stuff. But y'all ever notice how they like just sit on a bench at the store?
Yeah.
Like,
Waiting
and
on
they
a
just
wife.
they just sit.
Woman.
I guess that's what it is. Yeah, it takes her forever, so you just oftentimes see papaws,
Right, and he can't let her drive,
and they ain't never doing nothing.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
because they're not. I mean, they're not corrupted by their phones.
They're just
like
raw
we are or
dogging,
whatever.
Raw dogging and being alive.
Reality, raw dogging. Yeah, right. Exactly. Yes, they're just sitting there.
You'll start thinking the worst of people.
Come back, just staring into the abyss, which is staring back unto them, not thinking.
Not
maybe
hitting.
they're thinking something. I don't know.
No.
They're definitely not hitting. And every time I see them, I'm like, man, is that? But I
just
think
reliving Earnhardt's death over and over and over again.
We're papaws. We'll be sitting on the bench, but we'll still be looking at memes and shit. I think.
Yeah, well, we'll have a headset on, and are we really even on the bench?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to get that all. They say
we
that
won't be papaws.
Well, that they say. Now, obviously, this don't.
It's my favorite band. They might be papaws.
They might be papaws. Dun, 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 dun. She's an N-word. So I.
All right.
What? They might be giants.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I don't think that was one of their songs.
Dun, dun, I never had to knock on wood, but I know someone who had.
I was commenting on your parody, not the.
Well, the parody might be a papaw. They might be papaws.
Yeah, but how does the melody of that song you just did match to "She's a N-word"?
Buddy, I had 0.2 seconds to put it all together. Okay,
it's funny too.
It wasn't well thought out.
Like hit some little notes and then just said
me
a racist
and Trae are on
which
very
is funny.
different points too.
I was doing this,
but what? It's because papaws are racist.
Yes.
Okay,
us.
what? I made that
I get
up.
that.
Jesus,
We're not.
I get that just fine.
This is future papaws. Future papaws will be gay. They'll be they paws.
Could we not examine so thoroughly my ADD? You know,
We'll
like
take
it was
your
points.
fucking glasses off like a person, and then maybe.
What is going on with that? Why did that only just now get brought up? Like,
I don't know.
What are you doing?
Well, I found them.
Are you doing okay?
Yeah.
It's funny. I found them in a box. These are the original BCD glasses, and right before y'all got on, I just like put them on under this thing, and I was just sitting here, and it didn't bother me, so kept them on.
Still examining his ADD, I reckon.
Anyways,
examining his ADD with his BCDs.
We were talking about papaw. I saw a thing the other day. This is related to us not ever being papaws. But we are going to maybe see some wild shit. Top scientists have speculated that the first person to live to like 150 plus was probably born in like 2011.
Oh, I know who it is. It's Andrew Tate. I already know that. He's 100% going to be the first person to live to be 150
right,
plus.
because he sucks so much.
Exactly.
That God will not kill him.
No other way. I've been predicting that for a minute now.
I can see that.
Me and you talked. I don't know where you were going with this, but on POA once, we went into depth on the whole people defeating age thing.
Yeah, right. Did we bring up that study?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was like the entree into the whole thing is that people say that the first person to live to be whatever is
right. Oh, my bad. I knew we had talked about it, but I guess this thing just came up the other day for me, and I was like, I know that we've talked about how that's probably true, but I didn't remember actually seeing it in a published journal. You know what I mean? Or I didn't remember the 2011 part. No,
you're right. That part is new to me. I've always just heard the first person is probably to live that long is alive today, but which a person born in 2011 is. But
right.
Anybody before that's fucked, so we're going to just get old and die.
I say not fucked. I say that's fine because the first ones to do it, the infrastructure for what are they still going to retire at 65 and still somehow be able to live a full other life? You know what I mean? Like for the first people that this happens to, let's face it, the infrastructure will never fully be there. They're going to want these people to be autonomous robots, basically that work for their whole double life, but I don't want to be in the first group.
This is what we talked about before, but Drew weren't there, so it depends. It's either going to be a only rich people got it, in which case they'll just sit on the beach and hoard wealth and buy more slaves and stuff or whatever. It won't hit. And
nothing will really change.
It won't hit for the world, but right. Or like Bezos will give it to all his slaves and make them be slaves for 3 lifetimes or whatever. Or maybe a combination of the two. I think it could hit.
It could hit. I said could and would are completely different things.
See, I super do not hit for Mark in this way because
that you're hopeful for the future.
Yeah, because what it is I read science fiction books. Right. And some of the ideas in them or whatever that they just make it seem rad. And I agree. I read this one book in particular where humans had like conquered aging, basically, and the implications of it were wild as hell. But also in that book, the other thing they had to do was conquer like space travel, because within a few generations, you can't all, as long as people keep fucking and having kids,
you can't all be here.
You can't all be here. But in that book, they, you know, colonized the galaxy and nobody ever died.
Well, we're already ostensibly doing that a little bit.
Seemed cool to me.
I don't know.
But also, I'm just afraid of death, and it don't hit for me. So I mean, I'm all for it. You give me a shot.
We've made pretty good strides technologically, but we have borderline gone backwards. I guess morally is the right word, or philosophically, to the point where any type of, I mean, the aging thing, it'll be controlled and owned by the rich. It won't trickle down to us. And the only way you can get rich is, I mean, dude, I don't
They'll
feel
give
like
it to
I'm
a poor
quite
person if he's in prison, and they can actually make him serve 3 life sentences, I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah, I don't feel quite as cynical, I guess, as Mark, because like I do feel like most humans are basically good. I genuinely believe that. The issue is that power gets consolidated at the top, and we're just in a real tough part of history right now, because every way we would have of changing things is all but obsolete. It's like, yeah, we could figure out maybe how to live for 80 more years, but is that going to help us when nukes land on our head? Because people are starting World War III because they don't want to stop killing brown kids. Like, we're in a bad spot right now. And we're the most privileged people on earth. Outside of the rich. And we'll be fine, but like, dude, climate change is here. I mean, that's what Helene is. I shared your hope, Trae, that we might eventually figure out a way to like slow it down. It's too late though. Like we just got to figure out a way to ride it out. Some of us might, but a lot of people are going to suffer that way. It's clear that in spite of the fact that we know war is evil, we're just going to keep doing it for the dumbest reasons.
It's just a snowball rolling down the hill.
Smallest reasons. For the most and anyway, I think living forever would be a nightmare.
I agree.
If they offer that to me, I'm shooting them. If you come to my porch selling that, you're going to die right there.
I was going to say, like,
I'll take it. That's fine.
I was going to say, if I have to, like, in your scenario, which I fully believe in, like, if I have to do the extra 65 years in a fallout shelter, then fuck that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'd rather just
die.
What
if you 65 and you take this new miracle shot and the next day you 24 again, right? Like,
oh, yeah, I'd do that right now.
That would hit real hard.
I'd blow my brains out later.
Well, how else is it even really going to possibly work other than something close to that? I mean, slow it down.
Freeze your current age.
Or freeze it,
Right.
Yeah, but no, dude, if I could know everything I know now and then physically be 24, holy shit, dude.
Right.
Holy shit. That would hit so hard. Because that would hit, that ain't going to be what it is.
I'm genuinely asking, why don't you guys
tried to get testosterone from my goddamn doctor and he wouldn't give it to me. So
I've got too much, even though I thought I had too little.
I was convinced my shit had to be low, and he was like, my doctor was like, no, it's not. And I was like, I'm telling you, man, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, I'll check it, but it's going to be fine. And I was like, okay, well, we'll see. And then it was more than fine.
Dude, the same thing happened to me.
But I have a thyroid problem. And I was like, well, at least I was
all went to the doctor and was like, we don't hit.
And they were like, you hit as good as you can.
We're not real men. We need man juice.
And they were like, yep.
And the doctor was like, no, you're just really gay, I guess. Your balls are fine.
I went with Brian because he wanted to go. And we went to one of them like clinics. And they were like, they told me mine was 308, which 300 is the bottom of normal. And they told him his was below that. So then we went to our regular doctor to get like the script and double checked and all that. And both of our regular doctors were like, yeah, I don't know what that test was about. Y'all ain't even close to that. Dude, they're straight up lying to dudes out here, bro.
But see, I've wondered. I have thought. I was like,
lie to me, I'll take it.
I bet there's places like those pill clinics that were,
diet
ubiquitous in the South, where it's just like a little
400%.
In my head, I'm like, I bet they got that for testosterone, where you could just go in there and there's a doc. He's technically a doctor, but he's some shady fuck doctor who got his MD at some, college of Trinidad and Tobago or some shit, and he'll just give you testosterone if you just say you need it. And I need to find one of them. I think.
Me too.
Well, we got one, dude, because they told me we'll get it to you, but your insurance won't pay for it. They told Brian, because they said his was slightly lower. Your insurance will pay for yours. You just got to go to our doctor. Well, we both went to our own doctors, and they were like, that's not true at all.
Yeah. Well, that's funny because speaking of Brian, the reason that I went to get mine checked out is because I found out that one of my best friends, who is the epitome of like manly man, I would have never guessed his testosterone. If anything, I would have thought his was off the fucking charts. And turns out he had low testosterone. I was like, well,
you sure he didn't get lied to like me and Brian?
He might have. I mean, now that you've said that, you have sort of illuminated me. But I'm saying, like, in my brain, I was like, dog, if he's got low T, I'm fucking at cataclysmic like I'm about to die from not having none. And you know what I mean? And turns out, no, they were like, dude, you got a shit ton. Like, have you seen the top of your head? That's why that is the way that
the size of your balls.
And and everything about you. But, you know, and he was like,
I would have never thought yours was low. Maybe like now, I guess.
Well, again, I only have myself to compare to a man who they said his, you know what I mean? And he was like, man, it's been great ever since I got that figured out. Like, I'm getting cut quicker and it's staying on. And I was like, ooh, that's all it's been this whole time. Ooh.
Right.
Because I mean, I get why people feel like, but it really is like, it's not like that guy's tough and got big muscles. He must have high T. He did at some point when he built the muscles going through puberty. But like now it really is like, are you bald?
Yeah, right.
Do you have a lot of fat on your titties, and like more so than other parts of your body? Then maybe you do have low. Like it's
I got all them.
The muscle thing. This is the saddest part of the whole argument I was making is that like, because that wasn't the answer. But basically, like a few months ago, I tried to replicate a thing that I did in my late 20s. This heavy lifting routine that I followed and taking creatine and all this shit. And in my late 20s. It worked really well. Like I bulked up bigger than I've ever been in my life around that time. And then Katie had another baby or some shit. And then that just, whatever, that was that. But I tried to replicate that recently after I had lost a bunch of weight. I tried to do that, trying to like build some muscle. And literally all that happened was that I just got fat as fuck again. Like that's it. I didn't get no stronger, no muscle mass. I mean, maybe a little bit, but
just
not
wasted
much.
Your time.
Just wasted everything. every bit of progress I'd made, ruined it. Wiped the slate clean,
and it was hard.
Just fatted back up almost overnight. So I was like, in my head, I was like, well, this can't be, Right. And I like told the doctor that I was like, I literally did the exact same thing I did before, and it worked before, and it didn't. I don't, I think it's my testosterone. He was like, no, you
don't hit.
Older now. You don't hit, whatever. It's.
I wish he would have said
you
to
at your least gay.
I wish he would have said to you, because this is, I think, the answer, and I could be wrong, but me and Brian looked into it. Our buddy Austin's on it, and that's what. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I think it is your testosterone. It's just that the number for you now and what's normal.
The range
is way different than when you're in your 20s, and you don't want to be that guy.
That's probably true.
There's a reason those dudes are intolerable. Most of us in our 20s. It's like, and also it's kind of bad for your heart to be that high this late in the game.
Right.
I could be wrong, but I think what he should have said is, it is your testosterone, but it's not low. You shouldn't be that guy anymore.
Yeah.
Do low resistance bands, motherfucker. Don't be, drinking creatine and pushing heavy weight.
Yeah, it was stupid. I don't know.
But you can find it if you want it, dog. I mean, if you want to get out here, if you want to bring the chin strap back, we can make it happen. Maybe not in California, but just come home, get it yourself. You got to learn how to do your own injection.
What about gear? Where you guys at on that?
I did it.
You did it?
I did. Yeah, I took a cycle of pills, but dude, I didn't like. I was like,
he didn't work out.
This was like early in my 20s, and I was like, I'm about to go hit the, and I just kept forgetting every day, so I just got fat as fuck. Yeah, I just swelled up.
Any
like
pill
a
will do.
Yeah, I was like, well, and I was like, I'll go work out.
Can I have that?
Yeah, go ahead. And then I'd keep forgetting to do it, and so I just did a whole cycle and just got real fat and was like nervous all the time.
Basically, what I just did, except without the steroids. But yeah. pretty much what happened.
It was Mexican shit in a in aluminum foil. Like, this shit was so illegal. It was extra illegal.
I would absolutely not do gear, but if I was 22 or again and knew what I know now, I might be tempted to do a cycle then, when it's a slightly less hard on your body. Because I just found this out like last year. I don't know if you guys knew this. You probably did. I'd never looked into it or whatever, but if you do a cycle and you work out hard and you get ripped, that's like in your muscles now.
Yeah.
Right.
To be that guy.
I'd heard that.
So like you can more easily get back to it. If I had known, it kind of lasts forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might have. Now I won't. I clearly have an ego. Look at my fucking haircut. But
dude,
like, not enough of one to like risk that, but I might have them.
I've heard several wrestlers talking about, like, obviously they were doing steroids illegally and they weren't supposed to do them, and therefore they were going insane on them. But like a lot of people talking about, like, if you were doing steroids under a doctor's supervision and you were doing the correct amount and treating everything right, they're like, it's no more worse than any of the other shit you're putting in your body. The problem is that these dudes aren't allowed to do it, so they jam a dirty needle in their goddamn ass and they don't know how much they're putting in there and yada yada. He's like, but realistically, steroids are more for recovery than anything. It's like being able to, the steroids help you work out hardcore and then your muscles recover so you can then do it again quicker than, say, if me and you were just to go to a full body workout, we would be dead for 2 fucking days. You know what I mean? But like with anything, most people that do anything, they go fucking overboard.
Yeah, I think that all that makes sense. I mean, it really, really screws up your
heart.
I'm going to say the word line. What's the system? It's not your, there's your heart system, there's your brain system.
Central nervous system?
Yeah, but what's
limbic
the one that
system?
slants?
Your limbic system?
I think it's that one that really messes it up. Endocrine
system.
It messes that up. It's
that's
like
hormones
super
and shit, I reckon.
Yeah. Oh, bro. Yeah. I mean, again, a lot of
what
them
the fuck
fucking.
is the limbic system? It's definitely a thing.
That's how they put books
that's like
in the
your
library.
Lymph nodes, right?
Yeah. No, it's your it's brain mess.
Don't hit.
How's that not?
Brain structures.
How's that not your central nervous?
You heard of the? It's not the central nervous system.
Right.
I was going to say, like, you said there's, the heart system and the brain system, but that's, there's different words for that. And the brain got a bunch of different things.
Right.
The limbic system is the part that includes the amygdala. You know about that?
Yeah.
Thing? Your amygdala controls like
thing in the back
fear
of your throat.
and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, your limbic system support a variety of functions, including emotions, behavior, long-term memory, and olfaction, which is smelling stuff.
Smell.
Right.
So, pretty important. But yeah, endocrine system is the hormone thing that you're thinking of, I believe.
Yeah,
None of mine had.
Roids do a huge number on that, and for that reason, I mean, dude, you just like what? I honestly, and this is, I might like regret this when I'm 50. Not this specific thing, but this general outlook. To me, I'm like, oh no, I just feel too stupid. I would feel way too lame. I would want no one to know.
No, it's one of them things where unless you have a job that like you kind of need, like you're in sports or something like, but if you're a regular human being, you should not fucking do that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
I understand.
Arguably have a job like that, sort of, kind of.
Yeah. Okay. And I think that if we got cast in a Marvel movie, it would be fine for us to do steroids. I 100% believe do a cycle, do the fucking movie. Come on.
Right.
I believe that. But I'm saying if you're just a normal person, you can look good. You can look good enough without that shit and not put it in your body.
Do you think people or just admit that they do it, or do you understand why they don't?
I would.
I understand why they don't.
I guess I do, but I would just be forthright, just because I would know people would know, and I'd be like,
you don't think they probably also the powers that be would be like, hey, you can't do that.
Well, if the powers that be told me not to, obviously I wouldn't.
Up with it.
Yeah,
they're gonna hook you up with it, and then they're probably gonna be like, hey, you can't. You got to lie on all these podcasts.
Dude,
if the mouse, egg whites.
Well, if the mouse told me not to say it, I wouldn't say shit. I'm saying if it was up to me, like just my personal ego or whatever, I would have no problem just being like, dude, I'm on the juice, like, because I would assume that everybody thought I was anyways, and so why I try to look like look, I'm on the juice, you know. Just like when I finally get my hair plugs, which will happen, I won't people. I mean, dude, people will know that I did it because they've seen me bald. But like, if that wasn't the case, I wouldn't have a problem being like, yo, I worked hard, I spent the money, I got hair now. I don't give a fuck. Like, either way, I got it.
I get why people don't though, because it's like morally repugnant to people because it's dangerous. It's like people go, and I don't know if this is fair or not, but people go like, oh, you put the way you look above your family or whatever because people think it's as risky as it was in the 80s with the wrestlers or whatever. And so I just get not dealing with that. To me, it's like any type of sin that you do. Like, I don't judge you if you don't want people to know you do drugs and you're a grown up. I don't care that people know that I do drugs, but I'm a stand-up comic and kind of an asshole. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I guess my brain is clouded by, it doesn't matter what I say about myself. It's always going to be taken as a joke, and who really gives a fuck? Like, if I was a normal human, maybe I wouldn't.
But with steroids, I mean, I don't disagree with anything you just said, Drew. I'm just saying it's not really the same thing as just like doing drugs for fun or hitting or whatever, because it does have an effect on people when, you know, like whatever, young dudes and shit. I mean, I feel like most people do know the reality now, but like, you know, young dipshits may not realize that, like, you know, that they're taking these things to look the way that they do. You know what I'm saying? And then when they lie and say that they're not doing that, a 14-year-old kid doesn't know that he can't just eat a bunch of broccoli, you know, and run a lot and look like that, and then he'll hate himself or whatever I'm saying.
Well, Kumail Nanjiani, like when he did the Eternals or whatever, like he was very upfront about, he's like, by the way, no, not everyone can just look like this. He's like, I've had a lot of help. He's like, I got hired by Marvel and my job has been to make my body hit. He's like, I didn't have to go to do this other thing. He's like, I'm able to put 8 hours a day in at the gym if I need to, all this shit. He's like, so like, please don't let anybody tell.
Yeah.
Sure, but I'm just saying. At least he was like not doing the whole like anybody. As long as you discipline yourself.
I think that is the reason that some of them give that answer is because of like what I'm saying is because they realize that it's unrealistic standards or whatever.
Right.
And they're trying to combat that while still not saying, yes, I'm on steroids when they totally are absolutely on steroids. Yeah, right.
But I could make that argument about most things people keep secret, I think. Don't you think it's fair to say, like, so drugs as one example, if we are all shameful about the fact, like if I'm quiet and ashamed about the fact that I take Molly at festivals or whatever, I'm not saying that'll hurt somebody, but it might make somebody think, oh, I can't talk about drugs. And then what does that lead to? The shame cycle, sure, but also just ignorance about what they are, what they do, what they don't do. A better example is sex. I mean, you can go from anything from like people who are in the closet, and it's like, I get why. If you live in the South and you're afraid your community is going to ridicule you, but by doing that, you are saying to kids who are also, and I'm not saying it's your responsibility to make those kids feel safe. I'm just saying that those secrets, I agree with you that secret can hurt somebody, but like there's a question there of like, well, whose job is it to make the world be like, feel like this shit's normal? Is it yours? I mean, maybe it is. I don't know. But I just think that applies to everyone.
I mean, I didn't think this, but it would have been funny if you were like, yeah, that's kind of the same way with all drugs. You know, like a kid looks at the dude on steroids and is like, oh, I could be that ripped and they don't know they need drugs. And I thought you were going to be like, you know, like if I'm at a festival hitting real hard and some kid sees me, be like, I could be that fucking cool. I could be that cool one day. It's like, he doesn't know that.
You can't.
Yeah, he can't because I've got a drug that makes me that cool.
In me.
Or like a dude on cocaine. It's like, I could have ideas. I could have a million ideas.
And tell them to everybody, even if they didn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
The next level of that joke is what you were just talking about where the people lie, you know.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not on steroids. This is hard work. Or, no, dude, I'm not on Molly. I'm this fun.
I'm just
This is me, dude.
I hit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm able to be this charming, and even if I'm not, I don't give a fuck about it all the time because I did therapy. No, you didn't.
Yeah, that's part of that too, where it's sort of similar to that why Nepo babies are constantly talking about how hard they worked and shit. It's sort of a similar thing too. Like people really don't. in this industry, and again, like you said, maybe they're genuinely not allowed to talk about it, but like people don't want to ever act like they took any fucking shortcut or had any help in making them hit. No. They want to make sure that oh no, it's just that I'm not a piece of shit like you, and I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I did blah 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 blah. No. Listen, anybody could be me as long as you did this, and it's just like that's not true. Shut the fuck up.
I hate that shit so much.
Shut the fuck up.
And you're right, it is
and quit it. Like, and I've just never been like I just like being open about, when you get help and shit hits. So
when people when people who hit keep it real on that front, I always love that. Like I know Bo Burnham had a thing that went viral once where he was talking about that on some panel appearance on a late night show. Basically,
it was on the green room with Paul Provenza.
No, it was after that. It was I think he was on it was on a late night show, I think, because it was when he was talking about how I guess Taylor Swift had just posted something or did something publicly that was like, you just work hard and follow your dreams,
right,
or whatever. And Bo Burnham was just talking about how utterly absurd that is, and how it's just not at all true. And he's like, look, me telling someone, just work hard and follow your dreams is like telling them to play the lottery, basically. Right.
Or
like a lottery winner being like, sell your house and spend it all on scratch offs,
Like you still do have to work hard. True. Right. But that's not the only thing that happened. You know what I mean? That's not, because if that was the only thing that happened, Dale Jones would be the most famous comedian in the goddamn world right now. I've said it a million times. Like, it's not just, it's your hard work. It's where you were at a place and time and blah, blah, blah. And like, just fucking be appreciative of that shit, man. Like, be appreciative and acknowledge it. There's no crime in being like, man, I got super lucky. Luckily, my hard work and luck met at the same time, which is called opportunity. You know what I mean? Or when hard work and opportunity meet, that's luck, or whatever version of that you want to say. Like, no one denies that you don't work your fucking ass off, but let's not act like the guy that didn't make it don't. You know what I mean?
Jamie Lee Curtis got like all the flowers thrown at her for just acknowledging it. That's literally all you got to do.
Yeah, she literally was just like, listen, I had a lot of advantages. My first movie was Halloween because of my parents, but then I hit.
Well, she said, when I go in those rooms, I've got to nail it. But a lot of people don't get in those rooms. I know that.
Right, of course.
That's the most honest way you can say that. It's like, yeah, man, what's the dude, Spicoli? What's his fucking name? Milk?
Sean Penn.
Sean Penn's dad is a producer. That is why he got these roles. But he hit at him is why he had a career. Plenty of producers' kids faded.
Yes, of course. You do that, dude. We've been like, no one's denying that you hit. You have to fucking hit, or you will in some way go away. But like you said, I got in this room because of X. You know what I mean?
Sometimes I feel like people don't hit.
Yeah, I know.
There's like a few examples.
I'm just saying the two.
I don't get her at all.
Who?
Is it Moira Rooney?
No, Rooney Mara. Rooney Mara and Kate Mara. We've had this
but they're not as big
before.
As the two people we have.
Those people came up. Like,
but the thing is, they're not as big as like Sean Penn and Jamie Lee Curtis are fucking. Their careers are.
The Mara sisters both had a moment where it looked like they were about to be hot shit.
And I don't know if they were.
Rooney Mara was in the American version of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo with Daniel Craig, and those
Brian
books
Williams
were huge, and that was a big thing. And then Kate Mara was the female lead in House of Cards when it was huge, biggest thing going. But then, then they both, I don't know what they've been doing lately. I'm sure they're still working, but they're not.
Look, let's say
fine.
It. Women don't have a shelf life in this industry,
Hell yeah,
even
fine.
if you have.
You know who they're fucking. It definitely counts as Nepo babies. Like, but
yeah, they're fine.
I don't mean they're hot.
But they're not Hollywood Nepo babies, is what I'm saying. Do you know who they are?
Yeah, the people who own the Steelers.
The girls name it, not just the Steelers. The owner of the Steelers is the Rooney family, and the owner of the New York Giants is the Mara family.
My God,
why that girl's name is Rooney Mara is because her grandparents on each side own the New York Giants and the Pittsburgh Steelers, and so does Kate's, obviously, because Kate's your sister. But that's not Hollywood.
More attention to their franchises.
Like American royalty. You know what I mean? Well, the Steelers are one of the best run organizations in the entire NFL.
Yeah,
not even close.
You're right.
The Giants, they suck, but the Steelers are legit. I hate them, but they're legit.
Right. But they do always hang around. But like, I again, like Jamie Lee Curtis, Jamie Lee Curtis No one's ever deserved an award more than she did for Seven Fishes. You know what I mean? Like, she fucking rules. But, like, yeah, she wouldn't.
Trae's right. We've done this before. That's my bad. I gotta.
It's okay. It's always a good time. It's always a good idea to put women in their goddamn place. On this show, Three White Men.
Do you know
what I
who
mean?
Cara Delevingne is? I don't know how to say her name right.
Yeah.
But she's come up on, or I don't think she's specific. We haven't shit on her specifically, I don't think, so we can do that now.
Let's do it. Yeah, who's that?
She don't hit.
I gotta go. You guys can shit on her.
Well, go ahead. No, Cho, she was the Enchantress.
Wait.
What?
I'm sorry. Come see me at Chattanooga this Friday, everybody.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah, go see Drew. Lookoutcomedyfestival.com. That's going to fuck something up.
I said she don't hit, but there is this one.
Who is she? What's she been in?
Okay, she's an English model and actress. She was the Enchantress or whatever in the awful Suicide Squad movie that came out.
I didn't see that one. Yeah, I didn't see that one.
Oh, you never saw that?
No, because I heard it didn't hit, and I was like, I'll listen to everybody.
But it's one of those that's
Bro,
like...
I saw Jared Leto's one... I saw a promo still for that, and I was like, no, thank you.
It.
And then everybody said it don't hit, and I was like, I'm not wasting my time.
But... it's almost like...
Is it like Wonder Woman 84?
Yes, that's exactly the movie I was about to say.
That movie kind of...
It's not... Well, see, that's the thing. It's not... I remember we talked about Wonder Woman 84 on this show or after it came out, and we were saying it's like, that movie's insane because it's like, it's so objectively terrible, but I do recommend that people watch it because it's like, it almost needs to be seen to be believed. It's so insane.
Does Suicide Squad have a Pedro Pascal chewing every scene element to it? Because like I do think that one person can carry a movie and make it worth, like Pedro Pascal was doing what Nicolas Cage does in a lot of movies where you go, this sucks, but I'm fucking in. Like, are you telling me that Suicide Squad had an element of that?
Man, all
I heard was it's bad. Wonder Woman 84 was like, it's bad, but it's also batshit.
Suicide Squad's definitely batshit, I think. It's like, it barely makes sense, and it's bad in a way that makes you go like...
You're like, really?
Yes,
this storied franchise is being handled in this manner.
Some of the lines and moments or whatever, you just go like, "What the fuck?" And then you like start laughing after the fact because you can't believe that they actually just said that.
I like to think that Will Smith was like, you know what, man? I've been on a run where I've picked stinker after stinker. I'm going to go with a time-honored. I'm going to go to DC and be in one of their movies, and it's going to be great. And then he's in historically the worst one ever.
So. Cara Delevingne or whatever was also the star of the movie, which I never saw because I heard it didn't hit. Valerian and a City of 1,000 Planets. Do you remember that movie?
Dog shit.
Well, she's the star of that. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
And then, she's also the female lead of the TV show Carnival Row, which I watched the first season of.
Yeah, that's with our boy Jon Snow, right?
No, it's Orlando Bloom is the star of Carnival Row. Same thing. It's got fairies and shit in it.
Yeah.
She's got 41 million followers on Instagram.
You will have that, buddy.
But anyway, she's like, I've always thought she's pretty lackluster as an actor, not that great. But her like
resume is impressive.
Her parents are all like super rich, and her godmother is Joan Collins, and the provost of Eton. You know you know what Eton is? That real hit in school in the UK.
The
Charles and everybody goes.
Right. Yes. Is he not going to Eton?
Yeah.
He will be an Eton boy.
Yeah, right. Well, she's like from those types of people. She's like from that type of thing. And so,
man, just brush horses.
But just brush horses. I hear you. But I did see her though on some late night show. I mean, I just saw the clip online.
Those types of people should be financing movies. And if you want to be in it, great, but you pay for it. She
played, I think it was a Skynyrd song or some kind of hidden rock song.
I'm back.
On a guitar behind her head and shredded it. So
this girl?
Yeah, so she's kind of...
I don't know what argument you're trying to make here.
She's kind of hit for me ever since I saw
that. Sounds like she deserves everything
right.
she's ever had.
Yeah, right.
Sounds like it don't matter who her parents are. She would have broke through that wall. Is what I'm hearing.
I did a complete 180 on her.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking sweet. Yeah. Someone from Eton that appreciates the true hits of the world.
Yeah, it is Skinner. Hang on. I'll show you this and then we'll leave. I'll show you this. We'll plug stuff and then we'll leave. Yeah. Okay.
Show me.
We're here. You showed us how you can beatbox. We always try to
skip ahead a little bit.
It is hard, but it wasn't as hard. I
just like to give it. Can you give us a little taste?
Okay.
Oh, go out. I'm like, oh, Jesus. Okay.
All right. Now this is Elodine playing her guitar behind her head.
Oh. Okay, sorry.
Oh God, I just got hard.
Oh my God, that's how you do it right there. Hard Elodine, everybody.
I got real hard there at the very beginning, dude. Even though it's about Alabama and like, you know, Roll Tide Nation has adopted that song as their own, it's don't matter. And I know it's so cliche, but as a Southerner, whenever I hear I get ready to fucking go. If we were ever, if you ever want to get me on the front lines of any type of battle and you need me properly motivated, right before you throw the sword down, just hit and I will fucking cut a blue streak down that goddamn battlefield, son. I'll get terrified, but I'll stab a motherfucker.
Heard that, baby. All right, y'all come see me, please. I'm in Durango, Colorado tonight, and then Santa Fe Thursday, and Flagstaff Friday, and then Appleton, Wisconsin, then Philly, Jersey, and Maryland, and then on from there. Phoenix, I believe, and then, you know, everywhere else. Coming up soon. Go to TraeCrowder.com. Check me out.
All my bonus stuff is at welovecorey.com. Also, love, please read all my things at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. I was trying to do a Mrs. Doubtfire, but I'm out now. I'll read all my stuff in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, welovecorey.com for bonus stuff. Listen to me and Trae's other podcast, Putting On Airs. And don't just listen to it. Watch it at watchpoa.com. Subscribe to our YouTube and tell everybody else to do that. I think that's it. Thank you all for listening to the WellRED Show. We'd love to stick around longer, but we got to go. Tune in next week if you got nothing to do. Thank you. God bless you. Good night and skew.